Take, for example, decisions that we make. We'll do a couple of examples here. How about music choices? Now, obviously, all of the sacred music, our kingdom music, is a good choice. But we're not going to be over-righteous and say we can't listen to other music. No, Jehovah's not that way. He's not unreasonable. However, when we make a choice in music that we're going to listen to, can you say, well, I like this kind of music and everything is fine? Not if we're going to consider Ephesians 5:17 when it comes to making decisions where there's no direct command against this particular kind of song or music. We have to take into account Jehovah's thinking and his feelings. Feelings? Well, of course, Jehovah has feelings. They matter. And one that really loves him, it's going to matter how Jehovah is affected by a decision we make. And the wise in heart always apply Bible principles in their lives. They're not going to give their ear and heart to music without considering Jehovah's feelings. Think about a couple of questions we might raise. In your choice of music outside of the kingdom music, can you think about Jehovah as you listen to this song? And can you do so without any
pain of conscience?
In order to get our meeting started this evening, we encourage all to stand if you're able, and we will sing song number 126. It's entitled, Stay Awake, Stand Firm, and Grow Mighty.
In this song, produced by the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, formerly of Brooklyn, the lyrics state,
Stay awake, stand firm, grow mighty. Be determined to endure. Carry on with manly courage, for the victory is sure. Stay awake, remain united. As the good news we defend, though our enemies will fight it, we will preach until the end.
As our song aptly expressed, the need for us as Christians today to stay awake, to stand firm and grow mighty.
In the April 15th, 1993 Watchtower, it opens up by saying, music is a divine gift. So wrote Lula Rumsey Wiley in her book Bible Music.
Well, music comes from Jehovah. It's always been part of his worship.
Where did Jehovah's Witnesses get the idea that music comes from Jehovah? The first question in this article is, why can music be called a divine gift? Watchtower expects its readers to acknowledge Lulu Rumsey Wiley. But why would Watchtower want its followers considering worldly literature?
For the past 40 years, brothers and sisters have come from all over the world to record music for use in worship and for our videos.
It has been a good experience being able to play with brothers and sisters from so many different backgrounds.
Consider, for example, the current rage of rap music. According to Time magazine, rap has become a certifiable global rhythm revolution.
I especially like the new songs because they are so different. One has African drums in it, and the next is a bit Irish, and like you're walking in a valley and on a mountain.
Like you're walking in a valley and on a mountain.
Are the lyrics acceptable for one claiming to love Jehovah and his principles? See, good questions.
And why is music so pervasive in their propaganda?
Here's popular North Korean singer Young Song-woo on stage. And here's her causing a media circus in South Korea. Hyun was in the South to inspect concert halls for North Korea's Samjian Orchestra performance at the Olympics. But she's more than just a singer.
She is a colonel in the Korea People's Army. She's also an alternate member of the Korea Workers' Party Central Committee, which is one of the main governing bodies in North Korea.
Analysts say most, if not all, musicians in North Korea are military members. As North Korean soldiers, they are literally defending the regime through propaganda music.
North Korea's artistic culture is so highly militarized. I mean, the songs, the dances, the theater,
This is the Samjian Orchestra. Their hits include songs like Our Comrade Kim Jong-un and Our Marshal. As you can probably guess, North Korean songs are all about legitimizing the Kim regime and creating a cult of personality.
What makes a Nazi? How does he get that way? Well, let's look into the process. To begin with, Nazi control over a German child starts as soon as it's born.
Sehr gut, sehr gut. Und nun, Kinder, werden wir unsere Naturkundestunde halten.
Hansa's school teacher is about to give the class a little lesson in natural history.
Jetzt einen Hasen. Und nun zeichne ich einen Fuchs. Nun passt gut auf, was jetzt hier passiert.
Now let's see what they'll learn from this little lesson.
Wer kann mir sagen, was wir daraus lernen können? Hans?
Das arme Häschen.
He said the poor rabbit. Is he out of his mind?
Donnerwetter doch mal! Dummkopf! Was für eine blöde Antwort ist denn das? Geh in die Ecke! Was? 1, 2, 3! 1, 2, 3! Rauf auf den Stuhl!
What would the Führer think of such a stupid answer? What would Herr Goering say? And Herr Goebbels?
Dummkopf! Wer kann mir nur die richtige Antwort geben?
Now then, who can give the correct answer?
Ich weiß! Es zeigt uns, dass die Welt dem Starken gehört!
The world belongs to the strong.
Und dem Brutalen!
And to the brutal.
Der Hase ist schwach und feige und verdient.
The rabbit is a coward and deserves to die. They spit on the rabbit. Nice kids.
Gut! Gut! Ausgezeichnet! Und nun, Hans, was denkst du jetzt von dem armen Häschen?
Ich hasse es!
He hates the rabbit. There's no room for weaklings. Hans is learning fast. My, how he hates that rabbit.
Ich hasse ihn!
So, das ist besser.
Hans has come around to the correct Nazi way of thinking. Nice going, eh, Adolf?
Ja, unsere Naturkunde lehrt uns, dass Deutschland...
Yes, this lesson is the basis for the Nazi creed. For Germany will likewise destroy all weak and cowardly nations.
Wir sind die nordische Rasse. Alle anderen Völker werden unsere Sklaven sein.
Germans are a super race. All others will be slaves.
Wir sind unübertrefflich. Wir fürchten niemand.
Germans are unconquerable. They fear no one. Listen to the fanatic cry.
Heute gehört uns Deutschland. Morgen die ganze Welt.
Today we own Germany. Tomorrow the whole world. Hans is now ready for the higher education, as decreed by the Führer.
Hitler's esoteric beliefs about musical propaganda led to the systematic removal of individuality. which bred the ultimate super soldier. No compassion for the enemy and fearless of death.
The average American was quite unconscious of the fact that some people had this in mind for the little John Q's. While their children were being trained to kill, John Q's kids were giving their pennies to help them have life. But before striking, a preliminary step was necessary. From Berlin, from Rome, from Tokyo, the campaign started. Propaganda to confuse, divide, soften up their intended victim. Put them on the defensive. Scream you're abused. Shout you're oppressed. The world's wrong. You're right. If you shriek it loud enough and often enough, they'll believe you. Above all, use their free press and their free speech to destroy them.
Lebensraum, ja, Lebensraum, meine Volksgenossen.
Our Führer is the intermediary between his people and the throne of God. Everything the Führer utters is religion in the highest sense. It is only on one or two exceptional points that Christ and Hitler stand comparison. For Hitler is far too big a man to be compared with one so petty.
Every day in all German classrooms,
Adolf Hitler ist unser Retter, unser Held, der edelste Führer auf der ganzen Welt. Für Hitler leben wir und wir sterben gerne wir. Für den Führer bis zum Tod, denn er ist unser Gott.
yes, take children from the faith of their fathers and teach them the state is the only church. And the head of the state is the voice of God.
There is also a serious part, so we start with a prayer to Jehovah. Then we watch the video and talk about the point of the video and how other children and families can benefit when listening to them. Then we need to loosen up a bit, so we warm up with some exercises, and then we're ready to sing.
Man bliver helt glad af at synge med.
Vi gør med alt vi kan for vor Gud.
Afdelingskontoret i Skandinavien fører tilsyn.
The Scandinavia branch office supervises 9 languages in audio and video production. In the 3 largest languages, Swedish, Norwegian and Danish, there are also 3 children choruses that help us with the recordings of the songs for the Become Jehovah's Friend series.
In the JW Broadcasting video entitled Children Praise Jehovah in Song, It details Watchtower's experimentation using children to create new international propaganda materials.
It is clear to us that they appreciate their privilege more and more. They actually see it as praise to Jehovah.
Before the children arrive, we make sure that all the equipment is prepared and tested, so everything is ready when they come here.
Watchtower has even convinced children that these songs can help them overcome persecution in school due to their religion.
I have been humming the songs, and people around me wonder what it is I am always humming. So it has helped me. And it is an easy way to give a witness.
Aside from the indoctrination of Watchtower music, the method for inculcation has become more technologically advanced in recent years. What effect could this have on Watchtower children?
On 2020, you saw what can happen when these little screens take over our lives.
One of the doctors featured in that report is from Metro Detroit, and he's studying how tablets and cell phones affect your child's brain.
What happens in a healthy child compared to someone with internet addiction? Gone.
The brain just shuts down.
Brain shuts down.
Brain shuts down.
Happy and healthy. These are the stock answers most parents give when asked what they want for their young children. When deep down, what they really want is for them to be quietly occupied. For centuries, that was achieved through rocks and sticks and imagination. Then came comic books and TV, and now we have the iPad and the smartphone. But while they are great restaurant distractions, what are all those touchscreens doing to all those growing little brains?
In the International Journal of Advanced Research in Computer Science and Management Studies, it says, mental process of awareness, perception, reasoning, and judgment can only be built if a child experiences something physical, like playing with clay, blocks, or a bat and a ball. This isn't possible if he or she is staring into a smartphone screen and conquering Angry Birds. Daily use of a parent's smartphone make their children's brains underdeveloped. The very advantage of smartphones becomes a cause for worry.
To help us understand what we're seeing, we went to Barnard University's renowned Toddler Center to observe through a two-way mirror kids reacting to traditional toys versus an iPad.
Here, touch a letter.
The center tested something known as distractibility. First, the kids aged 3 to 5 are given iPads to play with. The grown-ups call their names and see how readily they respond.
Jackson, what are you playing?
I want to see you make the letters. Touch the screen
Jackson.
with your finger.
And Lucas, what are you playing over there? Lucas. Serena, what are you matching? Serena.
Meanwhile, the only toddler who managed to resist its magnetic pull never fully tunes out her environment.
Vivian, do you want to come play with the iPads? No? You can keep playing that if you'd like.
Next, the tablets are confiscated.
Oh, you're sad they're going away.
It seemed to the researchers that the toddlers become more verbal, more social, more creative creatures.
Who likes pancakes?
I like pancakes.
Tova Klein specializes in toddler social and emotional development.
See how much their vocabulary has gone up?
How tall was that? I'm not ready for this.
Klein says the more you use a device to calm your kids down, the less likely they are to learn to do it themselves.
It's okay to get upset, you'll get through it. And this is a way to stop them in their tracks. Okay, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet.
So if you never learn that skill because you're constantly pacified with an iPad, you're not learning the skill of coming down from a tantrum.
Exactly.
Smartphones encourage us to carry out multiple tasks at once. It is not physiologically healthy for us because humans are not built to do a multitude of tasks at one time. Our phone makes us feel like you have to respond, which then increases our stress and harms your cognitive thinking. It's really keeping us at a distracted level, so everything we're thinking about tends to be quicker, less synthesized, and that's what's making us dumber.
Studies show that hours and hours of screen time does no real harm to a kid's eyesight, but it is associated with behavioral problems down the road, which is why the American Academy of Pediatrics discourages passive screen time for kids under 2.
Yo-yo.
But tablets aren't passive, they're interactive, and that's the intriguing twist.
Music can touch our heart without saying a word.
in film. The happy moment comes on the screen, you get a shimmer of happy music, and it prepares the mind for what's to come.
So it causes a release of neurotransmitters that actually do make you feel better. They make you feel good, they make you feel awake.
Gone.
The brain just shuts down.
Brain shuts down and its executive functioning is not working.
To Dr. Rosenberg, it looks familiar. It looks like a brain addicted to drugs.
When you look at an MRI of a brain using heroin and you look at an MRI of a brain that's hooked on tablets, what's the difference?
Overall, the disruption in the brain network is pretty similar.
So how do you protect your children? It's all about getting help if you need it and having rules.
I always tell parents that parenthood is not a democracy at best, it's a benevolent dictatorship, and that we do have to take ownership.
If you were to follow Watchtower's advice for selecting music, could you allow your child to listen to Watchtower's music?
Without pain of conscience.